All right, and it looks like we are live. So, hi everyone, and welcome to Harry and Ella Go Live. I'm Ella,
And I'm Harry.
and tonight we will be catching. We know that it has been a while since you have heard from us, um, but we're here and we're well, and we have just been living and growing. So, Harry, anything that you have to say?
Yeah, so I'll just say that I apologize just because I know we promised you we'd be coming at you weekly, but life happens. There's a lot of stuff that we are doing. Specifically, when I talk about myself, is I'm going through school right now. Just to better myself and put myself on the next step up. So that's been keeping me kind of busy, but this is definitely something that I enjoy and something that I want to get back into. So here we are.
Yes, I completely agree. And Harry, I am walking up those steps with you, right by you. I am in school as well, and that definitely keeps me busy, keeps me on my feet, and keeps every inch of my free time. But it's okay because I know that it's a personal goal of mine, and I'm looking forward to making it to the finish line. So here we are, and we are going to try to keep coming at you like we said we would. And we are looking forward to spending a little bit of time together with you this night, this evening, depending on where you are in the world. So, it has been one thing that I noticed just a few weeks ago is it has been officially over 1 year since we entered into the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic. And Harry, I just wanted to talk with you a little bit and see what was it like for you when, and I know depending on where people lived or where you were at the time, um, the impact may have been felt at different times as far as like shutdowns and social distancing and some isolation. So where were you when the United States first started to do the slow the spread? I think it started out as 2 weeks to slow the spread.
So I had just moved from Germany and I was at leave or on leave at my parents' house in Florida. And this is like as COVID is happening. This is just as people are trying to figure out like what's going on. So right now there's no lockdowns, there's no nothing. It's just like there's this virus out there that originated from Wuhan, China. And then I think the very next day or a few days later, we were watching the news and it started to get scary because then at that time, Italy, they were having 5,000 deaths a day, which was scary. Like to me, when I saw that, I was like, is this the end of the world? Like, is this how the world ends? Because it was kind of scary just to see like that on the screen, 5,000 deaths a day. And then eventually it trickled over to the US. So again, there were still no restrictions at the time. And then it wasn't that serious, at least not, as American people, it wasn't that serious. Like, okay, there's this disease that's overseas. And then I ended up PCSing to Hawaii. And at that point, that's when we started to have more cases in America, and then they shut down everything. So when that happened, everything slowed down. So I was used to such like a high uh, operational tempo the whole time while I was in Germany. Like there was no time for rest. It was just like one thing after another, day after day. And then when I got here, everything slowed down, and then they were enforcing telework. So I was pretty much in a hotel room answering my email, my work email from my computer, and um, just being locked in my hotel room. Um, and it wasn't like it was that serious, so we could still go out, but everything was closed. So what we did was we went to parks, but yeah, I was in Hawaii when it happened. Everything was shut down, And yeah, does that answer your question, or did I miss the question?
Yeah, no, you answered the question. I was gonna joke with you. I was gonna tease and say, no, you missed the mark, like you drove completely past it. But you definitely answered the question. I remember when my job like started to move towards telework and we were doing more frequent telework. Um, I still telework um, the majority part of the week, but I do go in at times when I need to. But it was like, I just remember it was kind of surreal for me when it first started happening. Like, I didn't really know. I felt so conflicted, like, not really knowing what to think. Definitely had been following what was going on in other areas of the world um, since the end, like towards the end of 2019. But then here in the States, kind of like you said, it was just not, I feel like there was, for me, I just feel like it wasn't being taken like some people were taking it seriously, but then others weren't. Just kind of like now, like you see people who don't wear masks, and then you see people who are wearing masks. You have states where there's no mask mandates, and you have states where there are mask mandates. So it's almost like, oh, what do I do? And I just remember when we went into kind of like a semi shut, because the country itself didn't shut down, but there were states that implemented kind of like semi shutdowns. And when that happened, it was just a little bit surreal, like, wow, this is really happening. The rest of the world has been telling us to brace ourselves. And, we've been hearing otherwise, but now it's happening. Um, so, yeah, I did. I think one thing that, and a lot of people lost their lives from COVID-19, and that is so unfortunate. I do think that one thing that came out of it is I saw a lot of people connecting and reconnecting. Even though not in person or face to face, there were a lot of check ins going on, a lot of reaching out to people that you may not have spoken with in months or years, just like a virtual togetherness, if that kind of makes sense. But we're still in it. We're not completely through it yet. So, were you one of the, or did you ever have a moment of panic where you felt like, I need to go to the grocery store, I need to get all the toilet paper that's left, all the water that's left, like all the paper towels?
No, so it's funny because when we got to the island, wait, let me think about it. Let me make sure. Yeah, so actually, yes. So when we got to the island, the panic had already happened. So when we went to the store, there was nothing. There was no toilet paper. But luckily, we were in a hotel. We were in a hotel room for like 30 days. So toilet paper wasn't an issue for us. But yeah, there was no toilet paper. There was no hand sanitizer. There was no like nothing. People had grabbed up all the food off the shelves. It was crazy. But I do agree with your previous statement about people coming closer together, because ever since COVID, me and my family, we have FaceTime calls every Sunday, like everybody in the family, at least the immediate family. So that's been something we've been maintaining. So I think that is something that like good that came out of it.
Yeah, no, that is really good. I do remember like, so the way that my husband and I like eat and cook, it's a lot of, we try to use like a lot of whole foods and stuff, and we make a lot of our stuff from scratch. And I feel like I found like during the beginning, like of COVID, it was really hard for us to find the ingredients that we would normally use to like cook our food, because when you went to the grocery store, the shelves were so bare. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. So I remember like just I went to the grocery store and I took a picture and I sent it to my husband, like, look how empty the grocery store is. And it was a little bit scary for me because it kind of was like, is this it? Like, is this it? Is this it? Like, really asking, not is this it? Like, is this all that's left for me to buy? But is this really it? Is this how the world goes out? Like, so it was definitely an eye opener. I remember I couldn't even find like flour, I couldn't find yeast, like I couldn't find, there was one day I went to get rice and like I couldn't find any wild rice. Like it was just really hard to find things that we would normally get, even water. Like, and I remember toilet paper was like platinum. Like,
So I have a funny story about toilet paper because so when I went to visit my parents for Christmas this year, they were telling me a story about toilet paper. Basically, they had to give the neighbors some toilet paper because of like the panic. But the kicker is my parents had so much toilet paper, so like like they had like stocks of toilet paper, and I was joking with them and I was like, well, the reason that you have to, because he was like, my dad was kind of like praising himself for being able to like, support the neighbors and give him some toilet paper. But I was like, the whole reason he has to ask for toilet paper is because you bought it all from the store. Like, you shouldn't feel good about that.
actually, we were running really low. Like we ran close low, like scary low. Like, what am I going to do? Low. But my mother, like, I guess had her little pile. She prepares and stuff like that. And she sent us some in the mail. And I just remember I was so thankful when I got that package. And it was like a week later, I started seeing like more toilet paper like available. And it was like, good. But then stores were kind of doing the one or two limit. And some stores still have that. But yeah, that is a funny story about toilet paper because it is kind of like, well, if you didn't buy all that toilet paper, how would it be had? No, but that's good that he was able to be prepared and help out the neighbors. I'm sure he
Right.
feels good about that.
Right. My parents are like the type of people. Like I really do feel like initially they like toilet paper wasn't really on their list of things, but they probably saw it on the news. And then my dad was like, "Oh, we got to get toilet paper too." So like he wanted to be a part of the problem. Oh, speaking about being a part of the problem or the solution, so I actually got both my vaccinations, both my Pfizer vaccinations for COVID. Um, do you plan on being vaccinated or have you already gotten your vaccinations?
So I have not gotten the vaccinations, and at this point, I do not plan on getting vaccinated.
Why not?
So for me, I just like to see a little bit more research on all of the vaccines that are available. I know when I go like on some of the websites like the CDC where there is information available, they do have some information on there like research is not available for X, Y, and Z. I want to be able to see like longitudinal research, like what are the long term effects? And that's just not something that you can get right now because it is so new. So
Right.
but I hear what you're saying about or being a part of the solution, and for those who are getting the vaccine, that is how they're getting that longitudinal research that I'm waiting to see. So you no, and I like say that with like a smile, but really like thank you for those who do decide to go ahead and get the vaccine because you are going to provide some of that research. or be a part of it, because it is still like it's still so very new.
Okay,
But
that's fair.
so far, just from what I like see and from what I read, for the most part, it seems like it's doing what, scientists and researchers intended for it to do. And I've seen some stories like where people think they may have had like really adverse effects from the vaccine, but I don't know that they're actually able to, or that they are saying it's 100% from the vaccine. They're just relating it to that they recently had it. But for the most part, the majority, it seems like there haven't been too many ill effects.
Yeah, I did a similar test. It's not as long term, but when my coworkers were getting it, I specifically opted out of getting it. And then I waited about 4 or 5 weeks, and they seemed to be fine after their second dose. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to get the same. Uh, I'm going to get the Pfizer one because that's what they had, and they seem to be okay. So I did my own preliminary testing.
You have to do, you have to do what you feel is comfortable for you. And for me, it's not so much like I don't want to wait and see, okay, is Harry going to grow like a pigtail? Like I'm not waiting to see that, like, or Harry didn't get very sick, so I think I'm good. It's like I really just want to see, like, I really want to read some like articles, like research articles just about it on any long term effects that could
Yeah, that's fair.
happen. Yeah. And that's not something that I can, and like now I say it doesn't, it seems like it's doing well, but I can only say it seems or it appears, like, because long term, I don't know. And I just want to see that.
Right.
But I do think it's great, those scientists and researchers that work so hard to get this, to develop them, and then to get it out to the masses. And it seems to be being effective for a lot of people. So I do think that's really good.
Right. No, that's good. So I couldn't help but notice your new office space.
Yeah, I did a little bit of sprucing up.
Looks nice.
Thanks. Do you like my throw pillows?
I do. I like.
Every time I see a couch with a lot of throw pillows, what I think of your special pillow.
Yeah, I mean, I have. Yes, I know what you're talking about, but I also have a ton of throw pillows.
Yeah. Do you still have a lot of them?
Yeah, I still have all of them.
Yeah. I definitely collect throw pillows.
So, I don't know if you're ready to move on into current events, but I have a few things that we can go through.
Let's see them.
All right. Okay, we're up.
All right.
Okay, so I don't know if you've heard this story or not, but this is a 911 dispatcher. I guess some brokerage, she has a brokerage account, and they accidentally put $1.2 million in her brokerage account, and then she moved it out to her bank account and she started spending it. And maybe a week or two later, I think it was TD, maybe, oh no, Schwab. It says it right here. It was Charles Schwab. So 2 weeks later, Charles Schwab comes back and they're like, hey, we accidentally put this money in your account. We need it back. And then by then, she had already bought a car. I think she bought a house or something like that. Yeah. But then they were like, no, we actually need the money back because it's not your money. What are your thoughts on that? It's like, if a big corporation puts that money in your account, is that free dibs? Or are you calling somebody?
I don't know. I'm kind of conflicted. This is kind of reminding me of a story, a news story that I think I read like a few weeks ago, where the person did not have to give the money back. Um, I think she should have alerted someone. Like, what it says Louisiana Sheriff's Dispatcher. So I don't know what her salary is, but if like 1.2 million dollars is just direct deposited or deposited into your bank account and you're not expecting that, I'm calling somebody. Like,
That's a lot of money. I mean, it's not, yeah, that's 100% a lot of money. And I think I have had something similar happen to me with my USA account. So like a random like $200 got deposited, and I didn't think anything of it. I just left it alone. But later on, I saw that they took it out. So like maybe 2 days later, they took it out because I didn't recognize or anything like that. But I didn't. I mean, I didn't react or say anything because like they took it out, and I knew that that was weird that $200 was coming to my account. So I was like, okay.
and see, for me, if I saw like an increase in 200 on my balance, I probably wouldn't alert anyone either. But I don't, so this is where I'm conflicted on this because I would probably be like, I just got $200. Must be from something I did.
Right. So that's what I was thinking too initially, but also I was just like, this is weird. But when they pulled it out, I figured that it was probably some kind of mistake. But on the other hand, if $1.2 million got deposited into my account, I would definitely have to call my bank and be like, hey, I need you to fix this because this is definitely not my money and I don't want you to come after me like after the fact. Like I need you to figure this out. So what
I don't know if I would tell them it's not my money. I would.
so what ended up happening was Charles Schwab came back for the money. I think they were able to get $750,000 of it, but everything else was already deposited to her bank account. But within the terms of service, like when you have a Charles Schwab account, and I'm sure it's like any real bank account, um, if they make a mistake, you're still liable to give them that money back because that's not your money. Like that's in their terms and conditions. So right now she owes money on things that she bought. And like you said, a dispatcher is probably not making that much money. Like she's probably like making oh, this is what she bought. She bought a house, a car. Okay, yeah, a house and a car. And yeah, she's looking pretty upset about that. So, but in addition to like the cost of everything she's gonna have to pay back, she's also going to have to probably find a new job because I think they fired her. I mean, as they should. If she's a part of the law, she should not be
Yeah, she works in the
involved.
sheriff's department.
Yeah, she should not be involved in anything corrupt. But yeah, I mean, it looks like in the picture, it looks like she kind of regrets it. Like she's like, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
I don't know. I don't know if she's regretting it. What
I don't know.
are what are her eyebrows saying to me? It's like
She's like, I can't believe I didn't get away with this. She probably was like, I should have left the country. That's probably what she was thinking. Like she's trying to like figure out where she went wrong in the whole thing.
yeah, I think she probably definitely, on a serious note, probably definitely is doing that, like second guessing her decision, thinking about where she went wrong, spending because so they made a mistake. I think her mistake came from spending the money, like buying a new house and buying the car, um, without calling someone and just saying, hey, can you let me know where this money was deposited from? Like calling her bank and just verifying that it was meant to go to her. If she
Right.
was from Charles Schwab and she has an account with them, she could have called them and said, can you please verify that this money went into the right account?
Or just wait it out. Just be like, okay, if no one comes for this money in like 4 months, like I don't.
letting $1.2 million sit in my account for 4 months.
um,
You need to take your money or let me know that it's mine. That money
okay,
being a
she was
hole in my pocket.
she was arrested. I guess the sheriff came from her, and yeah, Charles Schwab sued her in federal court.
She used
Oh
the
yeah, 75% of the money has been recovered.
but
So
she used it within what, a week or two. She had bought a car and a house.
yeah, I mean, I think it was pretty immediately. I think it was like a week or two. I don't think it has it in this article, but I think I remember seeing it on the news. Okay,
Well,
so our next story is Emancipation, an Apple produced film. I guess they were originally filming in Atlanta, but because of all of the voter restriction laws that the government is passing now, I don't know if you've kept up on that, but we could probably do a whole episode on it. But Georgia passed a few laws that pretty much limit voting booths in specific neighborhoods. They limit the time. I don't. I mean, whenever you vote, you know how it takes all day. So, like, if you're not there at a specific time, you just won't vote. So they cut out the hours on like when you could actually vote, and I think they did something with the mail-in stuff. But anyways, with all that happening, Apple decided that they were going to pull the film, or not pull the film. They're not going to film in Georgia, which usually when like a production company comes to a state, whatever city they're filming in, they reap a lot of those tax benefits. So it's really good for the city whenever someone comes and films. So, I mean, good on Apple for uh, I guess at least staying in line with their values and their own little protest against this. What are your thoughts?
no, I agree with that. I think that that was a good decision. And I know just from a few articles that I read, I think some other companies also have reevaluated their relationship with business that they were going to do in Georgia. I guess just the thing that I think about is, like you said, the state does benefit from that because these film production companies and other businesses bring a lot of money to the state. And the part that I get concerned about is those are jobs. And, definitely a lot of people could use the work and probably were relying on the work they were going to get from that. So I just hope that um, that's just kind of taken into consideration when companies are making these decisions.
Yeah, I mean, I hear that, but also I think it's a call to action. So if the film company moved out because of their voting practices, then it should be a call to action for those citizens to be like, hey, like, this isn't right. Like, I don't have a job now because of these voter restrictions, not because of Apple. Apple was a reaction of this. So the real problem is actually the voting
The
restrictions and the
law that they put into place.
so
Yeah, no, I agree. I think though, like, I don't know. I just think of everything else like going on in the economy and just again being in a pandemic and a lot of people were out of work for long periods of time. So I get there. I understand like the company values and them making that decision and the need for call to action. But I also know that people really need those jobs. Like, but that's not, it's not an Apple. Like, I think that on the other side, I also support like companies standing with their values, staying in a line with their values.
right.
It's just the timing. I guess I guess that's where I'm going with it. It's just kind of the timing, and I want people to be able to work and have jobs and be able to support themselves and not have to have that added stressor on top of everything else going on.
No, that's fair. That's very fair. All right. So my next story So I don't exactly know who Grimes is, but she's a Canadian musician, and I just saw this story this morning. So I guess she got a new tattoo, and she's calling it "Beautiful Alien Scars." When I saw it, I was well. Actually, I want to just get your reaction and like what you think of the tattoos. I mean, I'm not like for or against tattoos. I think tattoos look good on certain people, and then also not only on certain people, but like tattoos are executed either really well or poorly. So tattoos are pretty hit or miss, and I think that's why I don't have a tattoo yet, because it could either look really good or it could just not come out right.
Yeah,
Um,
I haven't either.
okay, but anyways, this is the picture that she posted to Instagram. So this is her new tattoo that will eventually become beautiful alien scars. Thoughts?
So I actually kind of like this. It's artistic, but what I don't understand what she means by they will become alien scars, because they kind of look. I want. I wonder if they use like a tattoo gun and it's just a needle without ink, or
I
like.
think white ink. I think it's white ink. Yeah, yeah, full back in white ink.
So yeah, it's if you look at it's like symmetrical, like on both sides. So I see it's interesting.
It kind of reminds me of Kunta Kinte, to be honest with you.
And I was I was about to say, but it's sad. Like where my mind kind of went. It's interesting. I think this is the way that it looks, and knowing that it's an intentional tattoo. It does look beautiful. I like the design they did. It looks like some sort of wings or something like that. But it's also sad because when I see this, I see like someone getting lashed like in the back, and I don't know.
Right.
So that's like the again, I respect the art in this, but it's just sad, like knowing history and what I see, and then that someone would intentionally just want that.
So I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a fan. I don't think it looks pretty, and I also don't even think that it looks artistic. Like,
It does to me because it's symmetrical and then the lines, and but it's just maybe if I stare at it longer, I'll be like, what in the world? But
also, it's just a concept I don't get. Like alien scars. So like specifically, you're gonna put scars on your. I don't know. I don't know. The whole thought of scars doesn't seem like something you would do intentionally. I feel like it's something you get and then you could like wear as a badge of honor, but like not like.
maybe she used, well, I mean, her words are her words and it's in quotes, but maybe she, maybe what her, maybe her words don't match her intent. Like she intended something else and used the wrong words. Because again, I can see, for me, I can see like the art in it, it's symmetrical, like I can see the design and all of that. But it's also sad. Like
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna move on to the next story. I think we're just gonna. Well, we could definitely
maybe
agree
like a
that.
battle with an alien is what she was going for by saying stars.
I don't know. I'm not gonna try to understand it anymore. All right. So next story. Okay. So AMC. I never got on the AMC bandwagon, but we'll talk about the bandwagon that I am going to get on soon. But right now, well, this is an opinion piece, but right now, this article and this editor or publisher the writer of this story, that's what I meant to say, is saying to abandon ship. Thoughts?
Harry, you know my feelings on this.
Yeah, but the audience doesn't know your feelings.
So I was on the rocket. I bought a ticket to go to the moon. And a friend told me to get off of the rocket. They said, just get off of the rocket. And I was like, but I'm going to the moon. And they were like, you should consider getting off the rocket. And I was just like, but I get my stock advice from Reddit and I'm going to the moon. Rocket had a leak and all the fuel went out. And now I'm just stuck. Like I'm stuck holding this. So I wish I would have abandoned the ship. But I'm still holding. I guess at this point I'm forced to be diamond hands, holding till next year maybe when maybe when the rocket finally takes off. No, but there was a point where I think would have been the right time. But again, I held on and now it's a loss.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that there was a time to be all in and then grab your profits. But I think it could go up too. So they're talking about movie attendance. Like, I mean, after COVID, like people fully recover, people will start going to the movies again. People will get their vaccines. So I think there's still a chance for it to go
And
up.
summer is coming, and I think people will start going to the movie theaters again. So that's why there's still hope in it for me. But I saw where they did a new valuation at like possibly $1 a share or something. It going to $1 a share. Um, this is a
Okay.
subject. Next one.
Okay, so the next subject is GameStop. I know you also have experience with this.
Yep.
So again, this is a bandwagon that I have not gotten on, but
No holding.
yep, I think you should still hold. So the next thing, in my opinion, this is like the next rocket ship, and they blast off on Wednesday, and I think, and this is not investment advice. This is just what I'm doing. Um, I'm gonna get on this rocket on Wednesday morning, and we're going to the moon.
I'm getting a ticket too.
And yeah, I'm gonna bet big on this one. So I really don't have any cryptocurrency in my portfolio yet. So this will be my crypto. You have crypto already, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this will be my first crypto play in my portfolio. So hopefully it does well at least the first day, just so I can feel good about what I did. Because you this the way stocks perform can make or break your day. So
Yes, they definitely can. I've noticed that. It's like if you want to know whether or not to call me, just check the stocks. Well, do not call me. Don't even talk to me. Don't even look at me. But if you're seeing a lot of green, go ahead and give me a call.
But yeah, so I mean, outlook for cryptocurrency, well, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency specifically, is still up in the air. And then this article, I pulled one that had like kind of a negative viewpoint, but there are people that are optimistic for cryptocurrency and stuff like that. So I mean, out the gate, coin could probably just go straight down, but also there's a lot of potential for growth. So I'm gonna take the risk. I'm gonna put a little money in there, just because you can't. I mean, you could go to Vegas if you want to, but it's not safe right now to go to Vegas. So I'll get my quick gamble in with coin, and we'll see what happens. So
Yeah, I like cryptocurrency, so I'll definitely be on that rocket ship. I am trying to get on rocket ships before they're in the air. For some reason, I tend to get on like after blast.
no, but so remember when I told you about Roblox?
Mhm.
So I wasn't planning on buying Roblox, but I was watching the news and it looked like everybody was talking about it. So I was like, I'll buy some. Roblox has actually been doing really well. I think they're up like 14% since I bought it.
I haven't checked that one.
Yeah, so I think this is going to be one of the other ones. So Buzz, I told you about Buzz. I bought that. That one's doing okay. It's up 4% since I bought it, but it's just kind of been like up and down. So that
Yeah.
one's okay, but it's not like gone to the moon. You know, it went down the street, but it didn't go to the moon.
Yeah. I think that Buzz is going to go up though.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean,
I
so
have.
it's what? Go ahead.
I said I keep forgetting that I have the Roblox. I just looked at
How's it looking?
it. It's good.
Yeah, I feel like I should have bought more Roblox and less Buzz, but I didn't really think that through. But yeah. So that's what's happening with me on Wednesday. And I mean, hopefully I can give you an update next week and hopefully it's good news.
Yeah. If I'm not here next week, it's because it took off and I'm at the moon. So sold for profit, and I am somewhere where I don't want to be found with my husband.
All right. On that note, that's all I have. I don't know if you have anything else.
No, I don't have anything else for today. I'm just so glad that we had a chance to get together and talk. And, if we have any live viewers out there, holla if you hear me. So, thank you for tuning in this evening on Harry and Ella Go Live. And we look forward to seeing